a dialogue dedicated to environment management and climate change.
In spite of the progress made to limit global warming is coming.
The foundation of a sustainable economy lies in recognizing and achieving sustainable development.
IOD presents the 19th World Congress on Environment Management and the presentation of the Golden Peacock Awards. Tune in this weekend, only on Times Now.
Partnered by Times Influence.
A gathering of industry leaders and influencers, and a topic of international relevance. The 19th Annual World Congress on Environment Management, organized by the Institute of Directors, brought together some of the biggest names from India, Inc. and overseas for a dialogue on environment management and climate change, followed by the presentation of the Golden Peacock Awards. And playing host was India's IT hub, Hyderabad. Significant for being home to IT-dedicated special economic zones, Hyderabad has encouraged many national and international companies to set up their operations in this region.
While we attract more and more companies to set up their manufacturing units here, while we encourage various investments in various sectors, manufacturing of different kinds, we also need to be very conscious about the environmental aspects of that manufacturing.
As countries around the world join hands to sign the Paris Agreement, this annual World Congress on Environment Management was aimed at fostering discussions and presentations of ideas that will help in building a sustainable ecosystem of growth.
We as Indians are more into symbolism and tokenism when it comes to environment. We really don't understand the real issues, our population, our resource management, the fact that we have to produce food for 17% of humanity as a single country while inhabiting 2.4% of the world's landmass. These are issues which I find missing. I find people talking of pollution control, planting trees, maybe hazardous substances management, but I do not find people talking about the real issues. What about our mindsets? Are we thinking consciously? Where are we heading? How are we using our resources?
A welcome note by the IOD President, Lieutenant General J.S. Ahluwalia, set the tone for the two-day Congress.
I remember when we started the very first World Congress on Environment Management, soon after the ISO 14000 was announced on 15th of September 1996. That is when it was launched, and soon after it was felt there is a need to bring together everyone and understand more about how environment management is to be incorporated into the corporate governance in all ways, in all manners. And that is how we started with this. So it has gone a long way since then. Main points which really have always been coming are the 20th century, it has been known for creating a host of environment problems. In fact, till 1970, there were hardly any global understanding or laws covering the environmental aspects. But by 1990, 186 global treaties, laws, etc. Even in our country, there was nothing till 1972. Only then we started all these environmental connected laws, little control, little checks. So what really 20th century started and created all these host of environment problems it is now the job of the 21st century to solve them and to see that we don't create many more problems for the next generation.
A series of special addresses in the inaugural session of IOD's 19th Annual World Congress on Environment Management opened the floor to dialogues of environmental significance.
Corporates are the torchbearers, not only for supplying goods and services and products, but also how this society moves forward. Today, if we look at across the globe, economies are shaking, rising of market risks and uncertainties, and unprecedented climate change. Whatever things happened, I mean, people talk of that only the 20th century has brought in this sort of difficulties and problems in the climate change, but also if we look at right from maybe for a millennium till 20th century, whatever has happened, I think we have done much worse in the last couple of decades. And if things go accordingly, then I don't know where the Mother Earth will lead us. And now the 21st century, and for you and all of us, entire now population on this Mother Earth have the responsibility to find ways and means. One is to recognize that who is doing damage to what extent. We shall map it. And we have responsibility to take care of that, also to contain the process.
Telangana is a new state which was formed in June 2014, and I had the privilege of being the first Chief Secretary. So I can narrate some of the policy mechanisms which we put in place in the context of environment. Hyderabad has been growing like a very big city, and it is attracting a lot of migration also. So taking care of urban transport is one of the main activities that we are busy with. Clearing congestion, seeing that air pollution does not become a major hazard here. These are some of the things on which we are focusing, and hopefully Hyderabad will provide an environment which will be very good in terms of its social and urban life, quality of life.
On 1st of January 2016, the 17 Sustainable Developmental Goals, called SDGs, I'll refer to it often in my short speech, officially came into force. The SDGs build on the success of the Millennium Development Goals and aim to go further to end all forms of poverty, fight inequalities, and tackle climate change while ensuring that no one is left behind. As an ethically, socially, and environmentally conscious business group, we are aligning with the United Nations on these 17 global goals for sustainability, which are to be achieved by 2030. These goals encompass, as you can see, every aspect of life, right from basic needs, economic and social ones, and give hope for a brighter future for generations to come.
It's particularly in light of the quotes of the Brundtland report 30 years ago, it's even more easy to be pessimistic faced with the challenges of a changing climate. In 2016, we recorded a record global temperature, exceptionally low sea ice, an unabated sea level rise and ocean heat, according to the World Meteorological Organization. Extreme weather and climate conditions have continued into 2017. According to scientists at NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, April and May 2017 have been the second warmest April and May in the last 137 years of modern meteorological record keeping. In spite of the progress made to limit global warming is coming. Investing in sustainable technologies that will create jobs and support the poor, improve health and education, and build more resilient and equitable societies.
It's very important when we talk about the climate change and you talk about various aspects about how we are going to make this particular place a better place to live. I think it's a very, very important area for all of us to look and address whatever we can to the best of our abilities.
Still, really, we are producing, lot of renewable powers like solar power. Even Hyderabad board is producing solar power, but sometimes we find it difficult to connect with the grid. So there has to be some good interaction between the stakes producers as well as takers.
Concluding the inaugural session, His Excellency Niels Ragnar Kamsvåg, Norway's ambassador to India, unveiled the convention souvenir of the IOD's 19th Annual World Congress on Environment Management.
India is committed to the Paris Protocol. We are also committed to sustainability, and today was a coming together of organizations, both government and the corporate sector, as to how best we can really go forward in this path of sustainable development. So the key takeaways, I would say, is that the most important thing is that PPP, or public-private partnership, would be essential in this path towards sustainable development. There will of course be a requirement of the center and the states to come together in achieving our targets, our commitments, our INDCs. And in order to do that, how best we understand each other, the trust between the public and the private in key areas like waste to energy. In the sense there are some policy level issues they have raised in energy in order to make this dream successful, to make it economically feasible for the corporate sector to invest in these technologies so that they are successful economically and at the same time it's environmentally sustainable. So how best we can get together in order to go in the path together. So that's the key takeaway.
Environment management is something which touches our lives. Every breath that we take, we are actually in line with the environment today. And the great, I would say, importance that lies on this subject is that each one of us, not just the government, not just the India Inc., individually also, we can contribute towards environment sustainability.
Coming up, the presentation of the Golden Peacock Awards on the other side of this break. IOD's 19th Annual World Congress on Environment Management in Hyderabad saw over 350 experts and delegates from around the world deliberating on the impacts and solutions of climate change.
US just renegated its contract on the Paris climate change, whereas Mr. Modi reinforced his commitment to that. And therefore, we believe that we are on the right path. And with the new targets which Prime Minister Modi has said, and especially more so when he has said that by 2030 I will again triple the targets. I believe we are absolutely on way to sustainable development and creating a cleaner environment for our people.
Everybody is destroying the environment in their own way, but nobody is realizing it. Even households or even the government sectors, even the private sectors, everybody is causing some kind of harm to the environment. And this kind of conferences and awareness program does create a lot of good impact, awareness among the industries, private players, everybody in the government sector.
The convention also witnessed the presentation of the Golden Peacock Awards for Environment Management, Occupational Health and Safety, Energy Efficiency and Eco-Innovation in the presence of Justice Kurian Joseph.
The theme of the conference of managing environment and climate change, transitioning to a sustainable economy, is extremely relevant, especially in light of India's recent international obligations. The foundation of a sustainable economy lies in recognizing and achieving sustainable development. Thus, a sustainable economy can only be established if there is sustainable development. The concept of sustainable development was formally recognized, and in fact, this is the Pearl Jubilee year. when this concept was formally recognized by the World Commission on Environment and Development, Rutland Commission, 1987. The Commission aimed at uniting countries to work towards sustainable development. Sustainable development can be defined as development which meets the needs of current generations without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It is important that sustainable development goals are kept in mind at the time of policy making. An environmental perspective must guide the evaluation of all development projects. The future does not solely belong to me or you. It belongs to all of us, and it is our collective responsibility to preserve it. I would like to conclude with a quote by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. As people alive today, we must consider future generations. A clean environment is a human right like any other. It is therefore part of our responsibility toward others to ensure that the world we pass on is as healthy, if not healthier, than we found it. Unquote. Thank you. All the best to the duty holders. Jai Hind.
The Golden Peacock Eco-Innovation Award from the power sector was won by Gujarat Industries Power Company. The winner of the Golden Peacock Environment Management Award from the paper sector was ITC PSPD. And the Dahej Manufacturing Division of Reliance Industries from the petrochemical sector.
We just learned that more applications have been filled since ever. So I think this is the right way in India. I see it is more and more people taking care of the environment standards. And today, this is really, let's say, something which I take away from here. More people apply for this kind of awards. This means we move forward towards in the right direction. So for us, this is a great situation.
The Golden Peacock Award for Energy Efficiency was bestowed upon Tata Motors from the automobile sector and Lucas TVS from the automobile ancillary sector.
This is one of the great initiatives of IOD, where taking nation into the global scenario, bringing everyone together in this platform, sharing their knowledge and experience. We Adani not only building the nation, we also into safeguarding the nation through safety and security, wellness of the people. It's a great initiative. We would like to be part of this.
The Golden Peacock Occupational Health and Safety Award was won by My Home Industries from the cement sector.
I think this is a platform wherein you can showcase all those achievements which you have been doing at your organization. Institute of Director has been, I think they have been working since last almost 26 years in this area, and they have been awarding us in the area of environment management, safety, eco-innovation. So I think they have been doing a good job for the industry and for the nation.
Winning the Golden Peacock Occupational Health and Safety Award from the infrastructure sector was Afcon's Infrastructures. The Golden Peacock Occupational Health and Safety Award from the oil refining sector was given to Indian Oil Corporation Kandla Foreshore Terminal. And finally, Natco Pharma bagged the Golden Peacock Occupational Health and Safety Award from the pharmaceutical sector.
What we came to know is a simple fact that the second largest consumer of diesel in the world is the telecom sector, which is not heard of. So one of the facts that we can take away from it, but it also opens up our eyes as to how much we do not know about this sustainability and renewable sector. And I think what we ended up getting more is valid information, valuable information, and I think if the people have noted it down seriously enough, they will have a long way to incorporate that research into their policy.
When you take a climate, you are talking about living standards basically. Unless living standards of the people are increased, basic communities, basic minimum requirements are provided, people will not be able to look into the aspects of environment, because right now I have a feeling that a common man looks at environment as a luxury basically. His main aim goes for his basic things like food, water, health, education, and then comes environment. I think that's one area where a lot of social engineering has to get into. And that's one area where a lot of technology has to get into. Just taping technology that's available somewhere in Luxembourg or something like that will not be useful for us, basically. That's where our Indian Inc. has to get into, get the technologies, Indianize them, contextualize them, and then implement them, basically. Of course, they would be looking at the little bit of profit margins and all this, which is natural corollary for a private corporation, a private company. I think they need to be given a framework where viability gap funding or secure returns have to be offered by the government. I think that's where the dilemma lies now.
Initiating a healthy dialogue, the curtains came down on IOD's 19th Annual World Congress on Environment Management and the Golden Peacock Awards, providing a window into the future of sustainable solutions for development and growth.
Partnered by Times Influence.